Hello and welcome to New Deck Profile. Today I made a major achievement. I got qualified for the European World Championship qualifier. So basically European Championship. I topped an OTS with Tenpai Dragon and I want to give you the deck profile from the Tenpai Dragon deck that I used. Before I start I want to go over matchups. So I lost in round 1 against Light Swan by Thunder Dragon, which was a really crazy combo pile and I was unable to stop it with all my hand traps. Then round 2 I won 2-1 against Salamangreat. In the third round I won 2-1 against Snake Eye. In the fourth round I won 2-0 against Wrangling. In the final round I won 2-0 against 2-1 against Fire King Snake Eye. Now let's get into the deck profile. So for the Tenpai Dragons I played 3 Pydra, 3 Chandra, Fadra, 3 Field Spell and 3 Kaimin. Those are basically standard ratios. I think everyone plays those ratios. And I still play the 2 Fenrir with the 1 Race Off and 1 Terraforming, because you can use a Terraforming to get into non-engine, which would be just another engine card if you have the Tenpai Dragon engine already. And yeah, having the option just to go Terraforming into Race Off into Fenrir is really nice. And then for even more consistency I played 3 Pot of Prosperity. This deck can OTK super easily under Pot of Prosperity if you have the Trident Dragon. If not, ask your friend or just don't play this deck or just don't play Prosperity. And then 3 Forbidden Droplet, which is a board breaker, so I can dig with the Prosperity into Droplet. And this card has performed amazing today. Like, I won both games against the Dragon Link with this card. He made a Boar and Dragon with 3500 and I just used Droplet on that and it was game. And then Magnamut, which is both a hand trap and also a Tenpai starter, because you can use this on your own hand traps like Ogra or Veiler in the end phase of the opponent and then search your own Tenpai engine. Or this could be an interruption against Light and Dark deck. And then you get also the Tenpai Dragon Search. It's a really powerful card. I think you should play the Magnamut as long as this card is allowed. And then for other hand traps, 3 Ash, because it's the strongest generic hand trap. 3 Ogra, because I don't want to lose in a Tenpai Mirror match, and this one is really strong in the Tenpai Mirror match. Then 3 Moonlit Chill. Yeah, I think this card is kind of mandatory against Snake Eye right now. I also decided to go back to 3 Moonlit Chill and 3 Ogra and cut the Bell from the main deck, because I was gambling that I can avoid the Runic today, and I was able to avoid Runic today. So Bell was not needed. Yeah, pretty much standard hand traps, nothing more to say. And then 3 Veiler and 3 Improm as my final hand traps. Overall, you want to hope that you open as many hand traps as possible, and I was able to draw the hand traps pretty consistently, and if I was unable to draw those hand traps, Droplet was the MVP. So I had hands where I opened 0 hand traps and just Tenpai engine cards, and then I had 1 Droplet, and 1 Droplet was game with my Tenpai engine. So overall happy with the deck, wouldn't make any changes with the main deck. Now let's go into the extra deck. So we have the 2 Bident Dragon, then the Transcendent Dragon, and then card that prevents many people from playing this deck, but I think you have to play this. I made this 2 or 3 times today, and every time I made this card it was game. And I had not a lethal line without this card. Don't listen to other YouTubers, they tell you don't need this card, you absolutely need the Trident Dragon. 1 OTS Meteor Burst Dragon, and the reason why I decided to play OTS Meteor Burst Dragon is, so if we get Veiler on the Hydra and we don't have access to the field spell, there is no way to summon this one in the main phase 1 through another hand trap, like Bell, if people main Bell in the Tenpai Dragon deck. And by using Hydra and Chandra you can make the OTS Meteor Burst Dragon in the main phase 1, and then you can go Kaimin for game in the battle phase. And then in the battle phase you are protected against any other hand traps like Ash from the opponent, and you can resolve the Kaimin freely. I then 1 Black Horse Dragon to nuke the board from my opponent. Came up once today I think. Then the Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, which was able to bounce the biceps from my opponent, and this came up once today, but the main purpose of this card is to bounce back yugioh monsters. And then one Samurai Destroyer as additional utility synchro. And then I saw a dueling book video in the morning, and I saw someone playing F8 Dawn Dragster in Tenpai Dragon. And my idea behind this card is I could play against matchups like Labyrinth, and if you have endboards like Seal's Pass when the opponent forces you to go first with Labyrinth, then Seal's Pass is absolutely dog shit against decks like Labyrinth. So you want to have something against decks like Labyrinth or also Runic that can deal with your spells and traps, and this one can negate spells and traps once per turn. So I wanted to have a second toolbox option for going first, and this one is such a second toolbox option, but never came up today. And then for the Fire OTK line, one Heater, one Promethean Princess, one Raging Phoenix, and one Celantis. I was trying to get to this OTK today, but was unable to resolve the Princess OTK because I missed one buddy. Anyway, yeah, maybe you could cut this. The OTK comes up so rarely. However, if you fail to OTK, I decided to include one SP Little Knight in my extra deck so that you can at least try to destroy the follow-up of the opponent in the main phase 2, like banishing the original from the graveyard if you break a snake board without even killing the opponent. Yeah, so this is basically the extra deck. Wouldn't make any changes, I think. And then for the side deck, 3-dimension Shifter. And yeah, Shifter, such a toxic card, should be banned, but as long as this card is allowed, you kind of have to play it. It just steals games by itself. And it's also one of the best going first cards in combination with the free Heat Wave. So with those 6, you have 6 turn skips against decks like Fire King or Snake Eye, and if you see any of those going first, you can be really happy because then you know your opponent can't play, and you have almost guaranteed lethal next turn unless the opponent has hand traps that beat your engine. And then for the Tenpai Mirror, Shiver doesn't work, and I decided to go back to the D barrier because the opponent could have some ways to play through the Super Poly. Also, this one is slightly better going first against Branded, if a Branded player forces me to go first compared to Super Poly. Yeah, and then some more hand traps against Snake Eye like 2 Nip. And then against back row decks like Voices Voice, 2 Lightning Storm and 2 Cosmic Cyclone. I was able to avoid those back row matchups today, so I never said it in the Lightning Storm, but I played against Fire King once, and this card can out the Fire King Island and nuke the entire board from my opponent. So if there are people still playing the Fire King build of the Snake Eyes, Cosmic Cyclone is pretty decent against it. Yeah, that was my deck profile. Not sure if I would make any changes in the side deck. Overall, I'm just really happy that I got to qualify and I don't have to try hard in other events, and maybe this gives some inspirations for Tenpai Dragon. I think this deck is still really strong, even though people are aware of the deck and make less misplays against Tenpai Dragon. You can still be pretty successful, and I think this was one example for being successful with Tenpai Dragon.
Any shoutouts?
Yeah, shoutouts to all my friends and the people who tested with me at locals and gave me some advice. Yeah, so just lots of people, shoutouts to everyone, and yeah, see you in the future.